Well, for me, big news. For you, it might be a little bit disappointing. But you see, me and my dear missus, we're getting a divorce. Been together over 35 odd years. Married about 32, I believe. And I know you ask, why? Well, every night she's going from bar to bar to bar to bar. And I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. Hang on, what was that? Just a second. You want to know why? Well, she's looking for me, of course. No, we're not getting divorced. Definitely not. Anyway, I hope you're all having a lovely day or night, because for me, it is quite late. It's 300 hours, so it's 11 o'clock. Anyway, what I'll talk a bit about what's going on with Donald Trump and these Epstein letters and other stuff, of course. And I'm very tired, so I'll try and go for as long as I can. As long as I get an hour, I'll be happy, all right? If we can get to an hour, I'll be happy. But you see, there was Trump, all right, in the White House, being asked questions, and many of those questions obviously involved trickiness, as in Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein's relationship. Now, he maintains that, I don't know, really spent much time with him for the last 20 years, 10 years, or whatever it might be, all right? But back in 2017, he decided to, he thought to himself, who should we spend our Thanksgiving with? Oh, I know, I'll spend it with Jeff, and he did. He spent Thanksgiving with Jeffrey Epstein in 2017. He was the president. And then there's talk between Jeffrey Epstein and these emails and, Michael Wolff, the author, which I think there's questions to be asked there as well. And in those emails, it basically states, why do you make it so Donald Trump can hang himself? Well, it's a bit ironic, isn't it? That apparently Jeffrey Epstein was found hung in the cell, even though there was nothing to hang him off in the cell, but you know how it goes. You see, Epstein also said in these emails that Donald Trump is the most, pretty much the most evil person you'll ever know. He said he hasn't got an ounce of decency or compassion in his body, not an ounce. And I've said this to you before. To me, it's clear, it's obvious. The man is not a real man. No. He is spawn of the devil. He's a demon, I tell you. A demon! Follow the light, carry on, follow the light. Yes. Watch your children. Meanwhile, over 300 schools in the United States are participating in this madness. You see, there is an academy called the LifeWise Academy. And this academy is going into the schools and indoctrinating your children. I kid you not, in the ways of the evangelical. And Charlie. How do you feel about that? If your children are being indoctrinated in the ways of evangelical. To the point of saying, come with me into my van and come and see my puppy. Would you like to come see my puppy? I got sweets. And bring a few friends. Because then we can have a right old party. Under the gaze of God. And if not, you're going to burn in hell. That's pretty much what's going on. Some of the stuff that I've been seeing and the actual papers, the questionnaires and educational sheets and stuff about Charlie. I'm sorry, but if I was, thank God, my kids all growing up, But if I was in the United States and this was going on, I don't want my kids to be indoctrinated, and nor should you. It's getting from bad to worse, but hopefully, touch wood, he won't be there for long, or will he? Just say it's a hoax. Now, many Republicans are now, well, supporting the release of the files. That's not something really he can actually hide from, if you ask me. I'm sure he'll try. That he will. You see, he's an evil son of a bitch. That he is. And he'll just say it's a hoax and expect everyone to follow. And still, I am here. I follow a lot of live streams, all right? Live streams that basically are geared towards MAGA people phoning in to, well, the question is, why do you still support Trump? And these people who are making excuses for Trump, saying that just okay, I'm not happy with the fact, I agree that maybe he was involved with the old, fiddling, fiddler on the roof and all that. He was the other week, weren't he, talking about nuclear missiles and shit launching off his roof. But anyway, but I like some of this policies. I like some of the stuff. If he's good for the United States, I'm okay with that. What the feck? What does it take for MAGA people to say, hang on, I ain't having any of it. I ain't gonna follow someone who, well, quite frankly, is quite happy to spend too much time with small children that aren't his. Actually, that wouldn't stop my vote, quite frankly, though. For me personally, it's clearly a no-no. Anyway, who we got in the chat? Oh, who's in the chat? Who's in the chat? I wonder how many people get here today. You see, my channel's dying a death, it is, I'll tell you. Big time. Do you know, in the last 28 days, I've lost over 120 subscribers. The month before, it was like I gained like 2,000. Let's just lose them like water. People don't love me anymore. That's why I need the emotional support, dog. Where is he? Or she? Oh, she's there. Well, why am I talking to this microphone? It's not even the one I'm using. Oh, blimey, go over there. I can't help myself. It's just there. I'm talking to the microphone. It ain't connected to the device. What an idiot. What a fucking idiot. Have you seen me? What are you doing? Where'd I put them? They're like little cloth badges. Canadian ones, right? I was thinking about staying onto my forehead. Even though I'm not Canadian. But I respect what's going on over there. I really do. You see, there's a lot of positive stuff going on. It's going to, you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs. Some people are going to fall to the wayside. But there are new opportunities to be had. Unlike the United States, which everything is imploding on itself. When the federal bank has to do quantitative tightening, not easing, tightening, that is a serious situation that you're in. Serious. It hardly ever happens. A lot of this is down to what's going on with NVIDIA and ChatGPT. It's not good news, I tell you. Too many eggs in one basket. As far as the United States economy is concerned, everything else is going to a crock of shit. And now you're going to have, obviously, SCOTUS, Supreme Court, looks like could say, well, I don't know about these tariffs. They look like they're illegal to me. And then they're going to be expected to pay the money back. But who do? The importer? Most probably. But the importers pass some of that cost on. So they've got some of that cost back. So how's that going to work? Crikey. And then you've got, obviously, the export, as in the manufacturers who have sucked up some of the, swallowed some of the tariffs. What a fucking mess. And now there's likelihood that Donald Trump's government regime is going to have to pay back a shitload of money. Now, he's saying trillions, isn't it? It's billions, but it's not trillions. He's lying. But then again, that's all you expect from that fucking idiot, Donald Trump. You see, the thing about Trump is, all right, he is stupid. All right, he's dumb as fuck. He really is dumb. And all he does is blame everybody around him for the situation that evolves around him. It's everybody else's fault for his own inadequacies. Because he's a blithering idiot. He really is. I know some people don't underestimate him. I believe that he's a very nasty individual who will literally do the most egregious acts to cover his own ass. But the fact of the matter is that he keeps getting his ass in the shit. So he has to keep performing these egregious acts. That's not good business. That's bad business. That's horrendous business. You see, you get to a situation where no one will do business with you anymore. Everyone say, oh, fuck off. Nothing to do with you. I got bitten. You know, once bitten, twice shy, they say. So anyway, where's my chat? Oh, Craig, what am I doing? Oh, blah, I need to get the chat up, I do. I need the chat. Oh, hello, who's there? Who we got? Oh, hello, Kerry, yes. Hello there, my Canadian friend. All right, let me just mute that. There you go. Hello, Sheaford Townsend. Hello there. Oh, you're the first. You were the first. And Isabella. Hello, Isabella. No, I didn't get a divorce. Sorry about that. Why weren't people concerned about those files in 2022 and 2023? Exactly. There's a shitload. I've even shared things on this channel, all right? Actual the book, all right? And nothing happens. No one cares. MAGA don't care. The authorities don't care. They just, they just want to cover everything up, it seems. And unfortunately, this is obviously the worst thing that can happen to, the victims and future victims. Someone like Trump is not going to stop. You see, the problem with people like that, it's a disease. Because they reoffend. I can tell you that from first hand, not me, obviously. You know, I say obviously. I hope you think obviously, but my dear wife, okay, she was in a previous marriage, and he was the most awful son of a bitch. He was also Schedule 1 offender, a pedo, okay. Now, when we went to art therapy for our children, basically his spawn, but our children, to so we couldn't have any contact with him, and a lot came out, and that was my 5-year-old Dizzy was, technically it's his 5-year-old. He drew a picture in art therapy of a wall, a car smashing into it. He's 5 years old, right? Smashing it into, I think he was even 5. Was he 5 or 4? Anyway, he smashed into the wall with a man hanging out of the window, and there was blood dripping down. And when he was asked, who is that? Her name was, what's her name? The art therapist. That's Carol. I can't remember her second name, but her name was Carol. And Darren, or we call him Dizzy these days because he's a bit dizzy. Dizzy's response was, as a 5-year-old, that's Daddy David, Caroline's ex. Needless to say, after all this art therapy, he didn't get to see the kids anymore. Now, my eldest, which is David's, technically David's child, won't have nothing to do with him, right? But the day that we told Wayne that he didn't have to see David again was the day he stopped wetting the bed at 13 years old. Just like that. It was an eye-opener. It was a massive eye-opener. Now, my point being is that when we spoke to Carol, she said to us, these people reoffend. They seem to have a cycle, a 5-year cycle on average, but they always reoffend. There's something wrong with them, you see. There's something seriously wrong with Donald Trump. And I don't believe anyone can tell me otherwise. They can't convince me otherwise. And it has to be. These stories have to be told. So this is my dear wife. She's quite happy for me to speak about it. Right? So my kids. Well, I'm not telling you who they are anyway, am I really? But that moment in their lives those early years dictated how they were going to be as mature as adults, and as children growing up, obviously. And it did really make it made things very difficult for so many different reasons. Nervousness, wouldn't go with people and stuff like that, and it broke them. And seeing their mother being beaten up and dragged around the house and raped broke them. Luckily, they are now pretty sound kids, and it's now it is the past. And for me and my dear wife, their mother, it was a very difficult time, but also it was a very important time in our lives. I know the mic is behind me, but I'm using this one. Okay? I'm speaking quietly because, sorry. That's that one. That was not connected. That is for the computer. All right? That's for this lot. But I'm streaming via the phone. I don't know why, but I've got many people here at the moment. Hopefully we'll get a few more people in on the stream soon. Oh, damn. Anyway, let's get. I'll go to it. That's a bit grim, isn't it? It's a very grim subject, and it does disturb the culture. It does affects them badly. Luckily, all my kids have done pretty well at school. They're all gone for university. They're almost as clever as me. No comment. Hey, nice one, cheers. Pierre Pelev asked me to tell you that you're doing a great job and to send you some beer money. Oh, thank you. Okay, let me just go to the bar. Oh, dark Canadian blizzard, never to return to the office. Oh, my giddy aunt. Oh, I hope so. I hope he is. Never return to the office. Oh, Pierre Pelev. Oh my God, that man he's ridiculous. He's not serious. He's not a serious politician. We need some serious politicians. Politicians that do what they say and say what they mean. Because we need some honesty. We need some truth. And I think we all crave it now. I don't know about you, but I'm sick to death of all the lies. Including in the UK with Keir Starmer and what have you. I'm not saying he's a liar, but he probably is. But, I just, they're not following their manifesto, put like that. How are you and the dogs? Oh, the dogs are okay. I got one over there, my little Pandora. My dear wife, she's gone to bed, as she usually does. And my little Sebastian is in this spot down there. I did a couple of little videos earlier. They'll be going live soon on Ghislaine Maxwell. Because I don't know if you heard, Ghislaine Maxwell has actually even got herself an emotional dog. Yes, the Trump regime has supplied her with an emotional dog. She's even allowed to have people come and visit, her family members come and visit. They even section off part of the prison so she can carry on doing what she's doing with her family members. She's even allowed to have a computer there while her family members are there. She's got all these privileges and she's supposed to be a feckin' prisoner. And anyone who speaks out ends up in a high security prison themselves. I'm talking about obviously the inmates and stuff. They'll get moved from the low security to the high security if they speak out about what's going on with Ghislaine Maxwell. It's already happened once already. I did a video about that actually a while back. It is disgraceful. I just hope she treats the dog properly and doesn't abuse it. We know what she's like, yeah. Gotta love the dogs. Right, here we go. Now, a lot is going on, that is. Now, I just dribbled all beer on myself. What a slob. Anyway, there's, someone mentioned me in the previous stream, I talk more about what's going on in Ukraine. I might actually make some videos on that, to be honest, a bit more on Ukraine as well. Add them into the topics because I think it is. He was right. That is important, and they need all the support they can get. And so I will upload a few more videos, I think, about Ukraine because I am struggling with the channel. I'll be absolutely honest with you, and it's very, very hard for me to keep this thing going because I'm not getting the views. Knowing what I was getting before, it was for a channel with over 50,000 subscribers. The views are like a channel that has got like 500 subscribers. You know what I mean? It's really, really poor. And in fact, I'm losing subscribers like water at the moment. 120 odd thousand I've lost in the last 28 days. I mean, I'm in the minuses for. I would have gained some, so I've lost more than 120,000. So yeah, it's the negative. So it's a negative. So it's a bit of it's a bit stressful because you try and build something up, you want it to build, you want it to grow, don't you? So now I've lost track. Now I've stopped talking about that. Oh, idiot. Anyway, I want to mention something because there's a guy called, or there was a guy called Damon Sudal, and he's a Polish geezer, right? And him and his cohorts, support crew, who went to Gaza under the, what's it called now? The World Central Kitchen. And the Israelis killed them. Shot them dead. For supplying food. Now that is the end that Greta Thunberg would have met if it wasn't for the fact she had all those cameras with her. And the fact that she is considered a rather, she's very respected by a lot of people. Now this is going on all the time. Now I ain't got no problem with Jewish people. I've got no problem with Christian people as long as they're not these Christian nationalists who are literally fucking brain dead they are. But you know, I've got no problem with religion. I just don't want to be a part of it. It's something to do with me, right? I don't need to know about some wizard in the sky. Right? I'm not interested. Okay, but that's my opinion and that's my feelings. I don't believe in it, okay? And I base it on my own logic. If anyone else wants to follow that sort of stuff, that's up to them. It's their business. It's not mine. But don't impose it on me, okay? Don't impose it on my family. And you know, if it encourages you to do good by people, brilliant. You know, because there is, you know, there's obviously like you got Christian-based soup kitchens out there helping the homeless people. But you know, the Christian nationalists, no, they'd go around and shoot them, wouldn't they? You know, that's what they're like. They're cheering that Donald Trump is scooping these people up off the streets in DC. And where are they now? Nobody knows. Nobody knows because they haven't got anyone to check on them. Yes, be less stupid. Maybe that needs to be a hashtag. Be less stupid. It's just stupid is as stupid does. And unfortunately, there's a lot of really stupid people. I keep saying that. And don't say that about people. You can't say that as you can. Because it's not be funny. If the shoe fits, it just fits, doesn't it? You know, there's a lot of really stupid stuff going on. Stephen Gowan says YouTube is doing some weird AI tests at the moment. I won't be surprised because my channel is dying. I am this close to saying I've not been there so many times before, and I keep coming back. I can't help myself. I'm glad with punishment. This is like sadomasochism. I can't even say that word, but you know what I mean. I'm torturing myself with it. I should really just say sod it and just carry on with my woodworking channel and maybe rewilding and stuff like that and say sod this channel. I really should. Although there's some really kind people and I've had some lovely comments from people and support, which does encourage me to carry on. It does, you know. I'm only a human being after all, you know. I'm just going to know by my heart and mislead me, you know. I'm not going to lie to people. I'm not going to, well... Oh, he say, be less stupid. Crikey, Darryl Newman say, be less stupid. He's referring to me. Oh, no, be less stupid. You sound like a woman endlessly complaining endlessly. Thanks for that, Darryl. You're such a great geezer. That you are. Okay, I bet you voted for the fucking Orange von Shits and Banson. I bet you're happy for your children to be indoctrinated in school by the LifeWise Academy. Yeah, fuck. fucking idiot. You can't help it, don't I? Betty brain that you have. Yes. Oh, fuck him. I don't need people like that in here. Hide the user from the channel. Just hide him. Alright, bye. Do. Oh, okay, I did it. Says the guy complaining, says stop. I'm not actually complaining, I'm just trying to inform people. Because if I don't, on one day I'm not there, they go, I wonder why. So, if they touch a hair on Greta's head, Israel would be best to leave their embassy here. She has a rabid following in Prague. I'm not surprised. Yeah, I follow her online and that. I think she's an amazing girl. And we need more people like her. We really do. You know, you might not like protesters and stuff like that, but I feel it's important. And she is an important individual. And she speaks to young people. And they're the future. It's important. It's not just important, it's imperative. Another Mensa candidate. Thanks for that. So, oh, crikey, where was I? I got distracted now. Oh my God, my mind's gone adrift, it's gone adrift. So, there he was earlier this week, old Trump, and he was saying that bring in the talent, isn't he? He's being criticised by Laura Ingraham from Fox News. I don't know if you've heard this. I'll tell you, let's just play it. Oh, that's the easiest way, isn't it? Oh, crikey. Remember what happened in Georgia as well with the, what do you call it? The battery plant. The Hyundai battery plant. There we go.
There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
And does that mean
Republicans have to talk about it?
And does that mean the H-1B visa thing will not be a big priority for your administration? Because if you want to raise wages for American workers, you can't flood the country with tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of foreign workers.
You also do have to bring in talent. When
we have plenty of talented people
no,
here.
No, you don't.
We don't have talented people here.
No, you don't have. You don't have certain talents, and people have to learn. You can't take people off an unemployment line and say, I'm going to put you into a factory where we're going to make missiles, or I'm going to put
Why don't we ever do it before?
Well,
when you and I were
I'll give you an example. There's never going to be a country like what we have right now.
Tell you what.
Like you go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Oh, he's a very smart man. That is Trump. No, I didn't think so. Now, there's a class action lawsuit being aimed at the US government, and Trump is a little bit concerned about this one. And that's one of the reasons why he's been a little bit outspoken, as in when he was with Laura Ingraham and these H-1B visas and students from China and what have you. It's because he's getting grief. He's getting a shitload of grief, and a shitload of grief from the tech industries as well, because they don't want to pay the $100,000 required to import this labour. Now, I know he said this, that, and the other about removing it from certain industries and stuff like that, but he is getting a lot of pressure from other Republicans. Now, there's a class action lawsuit by the Ukrainian employees of LG and Hyundai who were working at the Georgia plant, the plant that was going to be for American workers, and this was in Georgia, and anyway, they're suing the US government. They're not coming back. That plant is still in pause, and that is not going to be finished for years now. Which means for years there's going to be no jobs made because of this plant. And a lot of this is not just because of us, it's because that Tory Brennan woman who grassed the plant up for having what she said were illegal workers. And now she's got another thing in her sights regarding people having SNAP benefits. And okay, the lockdown stopped. SNAP benefits have been agreed for the whole of 2026 now, which obviously that's the only bit really that's any good. The rest of that agreement by the Democrats is just like the crock of shit. It really is, because there isn't even an agreement. It's just like, oh please, Mike Johnson, please, can we talk about the Medicaid continuation? Well, no, he's already said no. So that's a load of bollocks. It was weakness on their part. So yes, the government is going to get sued, and they ain't the only law cases against the US government currently. Many businesses in the United States are suing the US government because of the changes that are made have a negative effect on their businesses. It's just all this so-called money from the tariffs, which where is it? Because it's likely to be told to repay it. Where is it? You know, the SNAP payments, have they already spent that as well? A lot of people believe that they already have. That was why they were bending over backwards to try and stop it, stop an agreement. But now it's funded until for the whole of 2026. And they're going to be arguing over everything else in the end of January as well. This is basically a temporary unlocking. I get locked down again. But there's a possibility, a glimmer of hope that the Orange Vaughan and Shits and Pants and Tango Mussolini could be leaving office. You see, this is a smoking gun. It's going to brew. This situation with these emails, they're not all out yet. They haven't all been read yet. And the ones I've seen, oh my giddy aunt, that should be enough. As soon as you imply that connection between Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein, okay, it kind of rings everything else. There is this pre-composed. We pretty much believe that everything else is true as well regarding him. Do you know what I mean? It's just like it's all there. And he said he had no relationship with him when we find out that he had a bloody meal, a Thanksgiving meal with Donald Trump back in 2017. And we're all supposed to believe that what he says. See, the thing is, if you're known to be a liar, and normal people know he lies about absolutely everything, you have to question everything he says. Oh, it's a hoax. It's a Democrat hoax. Not any old hoax, it's a Democrat hoax. It's going to get to a point where it ain't going to wash. Even with MAGA. Normal people doesn't wash with anyway. We all already know that he is, he should be behind bars. Or having a pineapple shoved up his derriere. One or the other, either way. I prefer the latter myself. And I'd like to administer, okay? I'll put it on a stick. All right. And get deeper that way, can't you? You know what I mean? Twizzle it as well. Anyway, oh, crikey, I was getting excited then. But what will I do if I get too excited? Oh, dear. So anyway, he was saying that we needed talent in the United States because American people are thick. All right? That's pretty much what he's saying. Oh, dear. All this is going on, and the worst people who were getting involved with all this stuff, with these young girls and stuff, Jeanne Maxwell's been treated like bloody royalty. Oh. And then you get, obviously, this release of these Epstein files. Everything is just like compounding. And any normal person would have been out months ago. It's nuts. You see, in these emails, Trump has mentioned not just once or twice, he's mentioned virtually 1 in 3, all right? And it's just like, he's there. He's like the topic of conversation. And this thing about the dog, all right? Dog that's not barking or whatever it is. I tell you what, this is quite interesting. This is on LBC radio. There we go. Let's see if we can do that.
Michael Wolff, and he says Jeffrey Epstein.
Just a sec, Michael Wolff. Now, Michael Wolff knew all this stuff was going on. He's seen the pictures. Why didn't he, back then he saw the pictures, why the fuck didn't he actually be a little bit more forthright? Was he just more interested in the story? I think he's a part of the fucking problem, is Michael Wolff. He might have the evidence, he might have these recorded interviews and stuff, and he's very useful at the moment, but don't be funny, he's just trying to cover his fucking ass. He's complicit. Anyone who knew about what's going on should have come forward. And the same goes for the royal family in the United Kingdom. There was enough evidence about Prince Andrew when the Queen was alive for her to want to actually, not want, but for her to feel, okay, it's necessary to pay off Virginia DeFray. They're all complicit. They all knew. You're going to try and tell me that the royal family hasn't got their fingers in those pies? And why didn't the Democrats, when Biden was in, release the files? Well, we know that there are Democrats probably mentioned in there, just like those people from the Labour Party, or was, such as Peter Mandelson. He was there at Jeffrey Epstein's birthday, for Christ's sake. He was a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein. You can't be a close friend of Jeffrey Epstein without knowing what is going on there. And, not be funny, can either getting involved or condoning it. Turning a blind eye. These people are all complicit. Michael Wolff, the royal family, and, the Democrats. They should have released those files. So, for fuck's sake, we need new government. We need we need new leaders. We need new people that we can trust. Unfortunately, we can't trust any of these feckers. We can't trust the Democrats. You can't trust the fucking Republicans. It's definitely not. They're all bloody complicit. They're probably all in those bloody emails. Now, that's what kind of gives me a little bit of hope. When you got Mandani, who is now the New York mayor. And that does, is a glimmer of hope. And then when I see Zach Palensky in the UK, the Green Party is really coming leaps and bounds. Because they're kind of, they've still got the green credentials, but they talk more about people and what people need. And anyone who goes up against Zach Palensky, they just get shot down in flames. The guy's formidable. He don't look like much, but he's formidable. And he's got bad teeth. but it's just, I just find everything just so unbelievably ridiculous. All these people that end up in power, including the Labour Party, they all get pressurised by the money. APAC, for instance, they all get pressurised, cornered. They can't do nothing about it, their hands are tied. Or they think they are. But it should be Love Actually. When the Prime Minister in Love Actually, it is Hugh Grant, when he stood up against the President of the United States and said, "Fuck you. You ain't groping my missus, or my potential missus, though." And it's just, we deserve more. We deserve better than these people. We really do. Anyway, I was playing this thing and I just went off on one, didn't I? Oh, below me, what am I like? Here you go.
telling Ghislaine Maxwell, now serving 20 years in prison, that Trump spent hours, this phrase, spent hours at his house with one of Epstein's victims. That is Jeffrey Epstein writing to Ghislaine Maxwell that Trump spent hours at his house with one of Epstein's victims. There are two other emails which go to the author, the writer, Michael Wolff, and he says Epstein writes that, of course, he knew about the girls. He means President Trump. Now, according to these exchanges, Epstein actually asked Michael Wolff for his advice in how he should handle Trump when he was going to be discussing their friendship in an interview with CNN. And according to this email, Wolff writes, I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane, the Lolita jet as they called it, or to the house, that gives you valuable PR and political currency.
You see, he's advising the pedo, Jeffrey Epstein. You see, Michael Wolff is complicit. Is he just so desperate to, desperate for his book to be a success? You should be advising him.
You can hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it looks like he could win, you could save him generating a debt. Now,
talk about Machiavelli.
I mean, but hasn't that always surrounded the question of why Epstein, what he was doing and why he was recording people and why he was keeping
and
notes.
how he played them off against each other.
This whole idea of compromat material. Jeffrey Epstein telling Ghislaine Maxwell, now serving 20 years in prison.
Now, I don't want to replay it. Now, I was watching, there's a lass on TikTok who used to live on St. Thomas, which is an island. It's the island that is adjacent to Epstein Island, the Pedo Island, as they nicknamed it. And her husband is a techie, he basically did security and stuff. And he installed the security system on that island. And he was saying, or she was saying, that her husband told her that there is a camera absolutely everywhere. Bedrooms, bathrooms, you name it, there's cameras. All linked to a central system. So somewhere, if they still exist, there is a lot of video footage of what went on at Epstein Island. There's a lot of footage. And this footage was used by Jeffrey Epstein for blackmail, and also Mossad, and also Russia. It was used against various individuals. And that's why you see these people get away with it. They got away with it because they had power. Not necessarily just the power in obviously the money that they had, but the power in information that could sink people. I don't think there's any argument there, is there? Right, let's just bring this up. Chat here. Oh, put it on live chat. New managing moderators can support your channel in even more ways. Introduce the managing moderator. Okay. Lots of men are complicit. I won't be a bit surprised. I would hope that most men would be, or would have some morals. That's what I would hope. Okay. I know it's not the case, but there you go. Somebody has gone through those 20,000 pages of emails and removed the damning material. So some of it's been redacted, isn't it? But I think they're actually removed a lot of the names of victims and stuff, haven't they? There's corruption everywhere, but we can't allow that to be an excuse. We can't. We can't accept that as the norm. because it shouldn't be. It's greed. Yeah, where there's corruption, there's greed. The situation is like celebrities in Los Angeles with the Diddy. Oh god, the Diddy parties is a good point. I think he'd been pardoned or something. But with Epstein and politicians and heads of business, you see some of these people that feckin' Trump is pardoned are the foul individuals. I'm afraid that Epstein was just a drop in the ocean. There's a whole secret society of elites involved. See Andrew Gold's podcast with Anika Lucas. It's horrific. Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks for that. I'm not surprised. Look at the church, for instance. How many people end up find themselves arrested for kiddie porn and stuff are religious evangelical types, churchgoers? Do you really want to be associated with that? Shocking. Yeah, while Rome burns, yeah, while the United States is actually on fire. Pretty much. They, well, it's, I don't know where to start with that. It's just fact. It really is fact. Now, going to the mindset of what's going on in, say, for instance, in Canada with the boycotts and what have you, and although there are some people, I kind of got bored with that. I'm sorry, but I've read quite a few articles now where people are softening and starting buying stuff again from the United States. Not everyone, obviously, but we should be doubling down on it. You see, the threat is still there. Trump is looking for the next dead cat. He's looking for the next distraction. You see, there's a lot going on at the moment. See, he's going to invade somebody. He's going to launch some more bombs on Venezuela, for instance. On Venezuela. He'll go to war with Venezuela just as a way of distracting you from the Epstein files. Oh, I love bats, but be careful. I like bats too. I do like bats. I've got a few bats here that I have. We've got quite a few bat roots that we've put in. And about 60% of them are inhabited at the moment. Some of them went up this year, you see. But, you know, we've been putting a lot of bat roots in the old shaman, which is like a wooded path, like lane, wood lane. Many of the victims disappeared or self-demonetized. Where are we? Not in my kitchen. Okay, I'm way down. Most are doubling down. I would hope so in Canada. You see, I don't believe... Now, don't get me wrong. I'm very pleased, obviously, you got Mark Carney as your president. But he's within certain boundaries. There's certain things he can or cannot do. He's restricted, and he's trying to do it within the norms. Unfortunately, the norms they're not going to save anybody. I don't believe that really that the Liberal Party is going to save. The Conservatives most definitely won't save anybody but themselves. I believe we're going to have to start saving ourselves. And this also applies to people, obviously, in Canada. I think we need to start pushing back from what has been considered the norm. It might seem a bit kind of like hairy-fairy and, you know, a bit kind of a tree-hugging. But I intensely believe that we need to start taking care of our own situation, because the only way, I think it's going to be the only way to survive what is going to be coming to us. I really believe that we are, from what I can see and from what I've been reading and from when you join the dots, it doesn't look good. The economy, what have you. And without the economy in good health, everything's just going to fall apart. You see, the current system what we're in is really there. It's geared towards the rich, the billionaires, millionaires, and all that. It's not geared towards you. You're just a circumstance, I suppose. You're just, you know, you're there, but you know you're not really there in their minds. They're not bothered. You're just there to make them richer. We're all serfs. And now we need to push back. In the olden days, when people used to take care of themselves, and didn't rely on anybody else. And if they didn't, they died. I'm not saying that's what I might expect of people, obviously. But in the olden days, people used to, even going back to say 50 years, 40 years even, you know, people used to grow their own food. They used to make do and mend. We didn't used to be so consuming. And don't get me wrong, I'm a culprit. I buy shit, all right? Just like anybody, you know? I do grow a lot of food. I do produce a lot of electricity here, you know, for our home. So we're kind of like, I don't know, I suppose we're a hybrid. We're in a hybrid situation. So, but my feeling is if everybody just did a little bit, we could make big differences together. I really believe that. Because there's a lot of people on this planet. 7 odd billion odd people. There's a lot of people in the United States, 350 odd million people. Okay, some of them babies. But, you know, and obviously in Canada and the United Kingdom and in the European Union, there's a lot of us. So if we all made a change, we could make a big difference. We really could. Unfortunately, people don't want to let go of anything. Oh, I can't do without my Netflix. Oh, I can't do without my Disney. I can't do without this. Yes, you fucking can. Of course you bloody can. You know, just change your habits. Instead of sitting there and vegetating in front of a television somewhere, or some screen, or, you know, go for a walk. Go and enjoy the countryside. It's fantastic. Get your hands dirty. Go and delve in some bloody rotten leaves and see what's in there. Ooh, bugs. You know. Don't get tick though. They're not pleasant. You're not Lyme's disease. But you know, it's, there's a lot we can. Well, you're going for a start. I'm not having that on my channel, Mr. What's It Hitler. Where are you? You gone already? I think. Have you gone? No. Right, you're off, mate. All right, I'm not having that shit. I don't know if anyone saw that one, but it was basically a swastika for their icon. I'm not having that on there. Where are we? Oh, I did. I just modded that. Not having that shit on there. Yeah, mass bummers are people like Elon. You're not wrong. Fucking hell, that bad, you know, him and his blank Nazi salutes and stuff. It's just. Yes, I agree, Dr. Davis. Carney is shrewd. He is. Mark Carney, the Canadian Prime Minister, he is a shrewd geezer. He's no fool. He's doing what he has to keep things steady. Now, I'm a bit of a bull in a china shop. I wouldn't do it like that, all right? So you'll be fecked. I'd say, what the feck are you on about, Trump? Feck you. Yeah, well, that's it. I'll cut off. That's it. You know, if you're going to tariff us, we're going to tariff you. So it'll be shit, all right? No, I'll soon be out. I just couldn't pub with it. I can't pub with bullies because I feel you've got to stand up to bullies. I always have done. Ford is pissed with Trump, yeah. Doug Ford, yeah. Oh, quite, where is he? Ontario? Anyway, wherever he's from. Doug Ford, he's he is very pissed at Trump. He's not happy. Apparently, someone was informing me that there's another ad coming out soon. Maybe it'll be one with Jeffrey Epstein or something. I don't know. But either way, apparently there's another ad coming. Yeah, Ford is the one losing his cool. He is losing his cool, but you know, can you blame him? You know? I love listening to Carney. He's so smart. Says Curious. He is smart. Now, the only reason I know anything about Mark Carney, him and his little family, what have you, is because he used to be the bank manager for the United Kingdom. And he was good. He was the best bank manager we've ever had. He was smart, like you say, he was shrewd. He's also level-headed. And he helped us big time because it could have been a darn sight worse post-Brexit than it was. You know, I mean the day after. It's still shit. Really shit. We can't trade with anyone. And everyone else is trying to tariff us, such as the United States, in the UK. I'm so glad I live here in France. I really am. I'll tell you, if I want to, I can cut myself off from all this shit what's going on. I can stick my head in the sand. I can go in my little workshop and I can start playing with my tools and making shit on my other channel, my volleyball channel. Or I can plant some trees even, so I got me escape. Or I can cuddle my emotional dogs. That I can. Oh yeah, good. What's that? All that grinning about you? Right? Do you want another treat? Yeah. Oh, the other one's asleep. Blimey. We keep looking at more dogs. I don't know. Me and Caroline said we're not going to, once we're sort of dog less, because they're all getting quite old now, we're not going to have any more dogs for a while. We keep saying that. Then we keep looking at dogs. I need another Wally dog. That's what I need. There won't be another Wally dog. There's never going to be another Wally dog. I really miss him. Big time, I tell you. Notice Carney stays quiet unless asked a question. He doesn't allow people to know what he's thinking. Unlike Trump, blah, 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 blah. And then some. Yeah, Kerry, if Brexit was so dumb. You're not wrong. It has really damaged the UK. Even the Labour government is now admitting it. They didn't even vote for it. They didn't even push it through. Yeah, you better do it. To be honest, I really hope English fans misbehave and come out with anti-Trump a chance. I hope so. It was very interesting what went on the other day with the challengers. Or was it the commanders? The commanders? Oh, anyway. And they were all booing him, giving him the thing. He was not impressed, was he? And watching him today in the office at his desk and that, when he's refusing to answer questions, he looked very, how to put it, suppressed. He looked very, very worried. Hello from the north. Hello in Scotland. I take it it's that north you're talking about. There's another wonderful place. It's a beautiful country, beautiful countryside. The in and out of Hebrides, fantastic. Oh, maybe you want to get my motorbike out up there. That's one of the crikey. I might be going on a trip actually with a few friends actually to Vietnam, and maybe renting motorbikes over there and then a Vietnam trip. Maybe we'll get to see all the trees with no leaves. What another one do you go? You try to tell me. Or do you want to have a wee wee? She's lovely. I've been fitting a beam above these barn doors today, and when I got back, the dogs went absolutely loopy. I've only been gone like a few hours, and it's just absolutely crazy. If you've gone 10 minutes and they go loopy, to be fair, it's like you've been gone all day, There I go. What? What are you in? I would like Canada to join European Union. It is kind of possible that it's not possible to have full membership. You're not because it's written within the rules that you have to be in Europe to be in the European Union. But there is a way. I can't remember what it's called now, but there is a way it can be done, like an associate member kind of thing. But wouldn't that be fantastic? Especially if we could have some freedom of movement between the two countries. Wouldn't that be great? For Canadians to be able to experience all these countries, you see, there's a lot to offer here in Europe, within the European Union, a lot to offer. You've got all these cultures, and, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, France, Spain, Portugal. Even if you're talking about a common travel area, you've got Switzerland and as well, Norway, Denmark. There's all these places you can visit. Romania, Croatia. This just goes on and on and on. It's pretty fantastic, right? Oh yeah, and Italy. So yeah, that would be fantastic. It'd be great for you, but also great for us. Here in I'd love to be able to travel like that. I really would. We have a land border. Where? Where's our land border? Was it Alaska? What about Russia? It's called Friends with Benefits. That's the thing you've got to remember about the European Union and what these so-called Brexiters couldn't kind of work out. It's that there's a club, and there's benefits of being in the club. Now, we paid the membership fee, all right, which is quite a lot of money. It was about 40-odd billion a year. Was that much? No, wasn't it? Sorry, no, that's wrong. Sorry. About 11 billion a year. That was the compensation payment. But about 11 billion time you consider what you get back. But what it doesn't equate for is all the trade it opens you up to. That 11 billion is nothing in comparison to the amount of trade it opened the United Kingdom up to. And now we're just like, we have a free trade agreement, but we still got to abide by all the rules like phytosanitary and all the paperwork. It is costly as heck, it really is. A bit like your Kushma, in Canada, between Canada and the United States, which probably won't be here next year, if Trump is still in power, that is. It's a club. It's a club with benefits. There's a lot of fairly wealthy countries, Germany, for instance, okay, their economy has been hit, obviously since the war in Ukraine and also COVID and that has been hit, but it's still pretty darn strong. The economy's shifting into military anyway, military production, such as Rheinmetall, it's just different. It's changing. It's still a very strong, powerful country. Hello, Deborah. Remember, the same ilk that caused Brexit are the same lot supporting Trump, pretty much. Evangelical nutcases. They're just... we've obviously got our Brexiters in the UK, and they are the most stupid people. I'm not supposed to say it, but I'm fed up with biting my tongue about it. I'm not doing it anymore. Sod it. I'm not biting my tongue about that. It's ridiculous. Because they, if it walks like a duck, talks like a fucking duck, and these people are dumb. They really are dumb. They don't see the benefits. They don't see the nuances. And the same with your MAGA lot. Don't see the nuances. They just see the hate. They just see one thing. Oh, the people coming in little boats. It's all because we've got more people coming to the UK, but in little boats now, since we're out of the European Union, than we did when we were in it. What's up, girl? Did you want a wee? Maybe she wants a wee. Should I go and take her for a wee? I think. Is that what you want? Or is it more treats? All right, it's quite warm in here and all that. No? Is that a yes or is that a no? No, she just looked at me. No, she just wants treats. Okay, I'm not getting any more treats. You're had enough. She's had enough treats, has she? Yeah. She's a fucking pain, she is. She just wants more treats, she does. Oh, dear me. What are we going to do with these people and dogs? Yeah, me too. I'm fed up with it all. I understand that Treadgold, Martin Treadgold, it's tiring. It is tiring. And for me, I just... when you follow something so closely, you're hoping for a glimmer of hope, of positivity. It's kind of one of the reasons I got my other channels, and I started doing on my other channels, and they're more they're positive channels, and they're kind of fuck off that. And then I come back to this channel, I thought, oh my giddy hell, what the fuck is going on here? How can we keep up with this stuff? It's just so rapid. It's just like it's just one after another. Another dead cat gets thrown in the ring, whether it be deliberate or not. It's all distractions. Everything's distractions, which aren't necessarily deliberate. It just happens, and then we stop talking about the thing we were talking about yesterday. Yeah, it's all about treats. She's trying for more treats. Oh no, she's given up now. She's walked off. Oh, worse than King Henry III. Yeah, most definitely. I hope you're right, Benja. I hope you're right. He says that it's going to be okay eventually. This is all temporary. That is, but the damage. How long is that going to take? I don't think this damage can be cured in my lifetime. I don't. I definitely don't. It's really serious. We are heading into one massive, well, possibly depression. It's not looking good. When the federal bank starts taking money out of the system, that is a real big signal that everyone should be doing what they need to do to prepare, make sure they've got what they need. And a lot of this is down to the fact that with NVIDIA, ChatGPT, other AI companies out there, including XAI, all the industry is in one place. All the money is in one place. And unfortunately, these industries don't really make much money off us, with us. They're providing the money, they're providing their services to large corporations to monitor us. You know what's going on with, with these Israeli companies that are now monitoring absolutely everything the United States has brought into it. We had a situation, fucking Epstein and bloody Donald, Trump, I think was even involved with Cambridge Analytica. I was reading earlier today. There's ties everywhere with these people. With Epstein, you've got ties with the big banks during the last financial crash. The money that was paid off to Epstein in a loan that he wanted was taxpayers' money. It's incredibly sinister. This is not how you govern a country. You're not kidding. It's just unreal what's going on. These tariffs screwed the United States. Every economist out there says pretty much the same thing. Even Reagan said their shit, hence Doug Ford's advert, which Trump wasn't happy about. The writing's on the wall. You're right, Zero. Absolutely nuts. The thing is dystopian. You're right, Kiri. Yes, it's very dystopian. Everything's dystopian, and this is where we're heading. This is, deeply concerning. But that's why I keep pointing out. I made a video actually earlier, which I'll make live later, talking about how we can start protecting ourselves, trying to wake people up, because it's just, we really need to. So many people have got their money tied in corporations that are going to fold, lose everything. It's deeply concerning. Tariffs, who benefits, is what you have to ask. Well, it's just those who are holding the money. And that money's been, holding the tariff money. It's not you, is it? It's not people. People don't benefit from it. No one benefits from the tariffs unless it's being shared out amongst the people, which Trump has alluded to some degree, the £2,000 checks that he's talking about, which is bollocks. No one's going to get it. He might do, I suppose. He might be desperate enough to try and win you on board, but win you back. Not win you back, because anyone's sense weren't there in the first place, were they? Hello, Billy Kershaw. I hope you're well. Did I just say Joel? Hello, Joel. Oh, you got a storm now, have you? I think we're heading for a storm. It's been very mild today and windy. Mild and windy. Lovely, actually. I could run naked, I could run naked in the wind, and even my bits would still stay the same size. It's been amazing. Still won't see them though, because it's still, anyway, lack of use and all that. The tariffs are going directly into the pockets of the billionaires, literally. Yeah. This is a big heist. It's an economic heist, and the people are the ones that are paying. Literally, they're the ones having to pay more for the shit. So let's stop buying the shit. There's a lot of stuff we can't get away from. Obviously, you got the cost of food. You're looking around 25% increase in food costs in the United States. And food's gone up everywhere. It's gone up here as well, but not to that degree. It's just crazy. When I looked at prices online, and I was saying, a loaf of bread and a box of eggs, and it's costing $10. What the fuck? That's just crazy. So what we've got to do to get an egg sandwich? That's without butter. It's going to get worse though. And that's why I say we need to diversify and think, where are we going to be getting our food from? Are we going to carry on just going to the supermarkets and buying our food and think that is normal? Because it's not actually normal. It's not normal to go to supermarkets and buy food. The normal thing is if we go back 100 years and say, we'll start growing a bit, growing a bit of food. There'll be a few markets and stuff, people selling street markets and stuff, wouldn't there? I'm not saying we should go back to that, but we need to reduce the amount of stuff that we are buying. So a lot of this stuff has travelled. I was going to buy some avocados today because I want to be like Harry's missus. Anyway, I was going to buy. I'm trying to have a healthy diet at the minute. You see, I'm trying to anti-inflationary foods. Anti-information foods. Sorry, I got information. Anyway, I've got inflation on the brain. And I was going to buy some avocados. I took one look at them, and and then back to effect. I said, mate, they're grown in Israel. I'm not buying them figures. I don't want to support their economy. I also don't want to support billionaires. So I think I'm going to buy less stuff. And I've been doing that quite a while actually. And I mend. I fix stuff. Whenever possible, I mend stuff. So I'm capable of doing so. But there's things that we must learn. Instead of spending money on crap, maybe buy a few little tools and stuff so we can fix stuff. Maybe learn how to fix stuff. Make use of the channels like the systems like the platforms like YouTube and what have you. Even though they're billionaire-owned platforms, well then maybe we can use it to our advantage. Learn stuff, because I think we're going to have to. Yeah, same it. I hope I'll save Joel. Oh, crikey. Hang on. Curious, my mum taught me carpentry, how to craft and use bows. Excellent. Crossbows, axes, knives. She is a lovely old lady, but neither me or my brothers speak back to mum. I'm not surprised. She'll get you with that bloody bow, wouldn't she? Try and run away, she'll get one right in the derriere. She sounds like a tough cookie. I love people like that. Salt of the earth types, I love strong, worldly people who know shit. I love that, I love people who can make things. I love people who can create stuff, grow stuff. People who are thinkers. I love those sort of people, because they've got something to share, whether it be their skills or their knowledge. There's something wonderful about that, and we all need the knowledge. Oi, Bear. You okay, fella? He ain't very well, Ian. He's been quite poorly this week. William Keeper says, I grow, I sow, I cook, and I fix. And it's getting harder with my hands these days. I know the feeling. I a little bit, not so bad now, since I had the operation in my hand, carpal tunnel syndrome. But with the fibromyalgia, I have to manage myself. But, you just do it while you can, don't you? When you can. You sort of manage your time accordingly. Did you get to see any of the Northern Lights from the geomet? No, I didn't know. I am on the equator. I did not get to see any of that. It'd be lovely to see, because I'm a bit of I love astronomy. Right? In fact, when I used to live in the UK, I built an observatory. I'm not kidding, I did. I built an observatory. I've shown people that before. And it was a brick conservatory with a fiberglass top. With a great big old LX200 12-inch scope in there. I wish I kept it, but needed the money at the time. And we were moving, so yeah, there was it was cool, all right? It was all motorised, connected to the computer and shit like that. You can control it from inside the house as well as obviously from the observatory. So it was a great thing. But those days when I had money. These days I'm just broke. I'm always broke. I'm tired of being broke. Oh, blimey. I can live off hand and craft what I need. And as soon as I am going to leave the city and go back to the countryside where I belong. Do it. The countryside is just. I'm a country bumpkin, all right. Now I was brought up in the suburbs of Norwich, a little place called Thorpe St Andrew. I moved to a little village called Salhouse, not far from Wroxham in Norfolk. And then from that, me and the dear missus, we decided to up sticks, sell the house, and buy what was a wreck, this place, here in France, in the country. The house, what we could see in the pictures from the Immobilier, which is the estate agents, real estate, whatever you like to call it where you are, and it was all you could see is the roof. and loads of growth, right? It was a wreck. It was a wreck. A lot of work, hell of a lot of work, and we haven't finished yet. We've still got shitloads to do. But we own it. It's ours. It didn't cost a lot, It's worth a damn sight more now, obviously, but it didn't cost a lot. We got no mortgage. We managed to sell our house in the UK, buy this place, have very little money left over to do a renovation, so we had to think outside the box. But we love it here. Both of us, we are happy to be living in France. We feel very fortunate to live in France, and it allows us to actually to reflect. Because although the kids are in England, and we have we've got one of our sons is here in France. He lives in France. He's got a house just down the road. And he's now got a little family, grandchildren here as well. But although we don't see the kids in the UK as much as we'd like to, when we do see them, it's quality time. It's real quality time. We have a really nice time. And we don't see it as negative anymore. At first it was difficult. We've got 11 grandchildren, and 9 of those live in the United Kingdom. So it can be considered. It is tough for some people. Some find that side of things really difficult. We've found it beneficial. I think we have anyway. And so does their missus. She's quite happy. She goes back 4 times a year. I get back once in the blue moon, and then the kids come in. So it's just. Maybe I should visit. I don't like the UK though. I really don't. I don't like what it's become. Too much racism. Sorry for the grammar. No, don't worry, mate. It's late and I was talking in German with a cousin. I forgive you, Joe. I forgive you. Martin Treadgold, Brexit was the stupidest act the country could do. Yes, I agree, Joel. And saying it to Martin, it's a ridiculous thing to do. When did you move to France, and how was the application to remain in France like now? When we moved to France, it was when the United Kingdom was still a part of the European Union. So anybody moving to France could do it pretty much with little or no paperwork. You have got to deal with your healthcare. You've got to deal with your work situation and stuff like that. But moving over was simple. We just moved. That's all we had to do. Move. And it was a learning curve. I got myself registered for work here, so I started working. But it's all changed now. The United Kingdom is no longer in the European Union, and now they have to go do pretty much the same sort of stuff as you would have to do in Canada or the United States, or anywhere, in fact, any third countries to the European Union. Would I do it? Definitely. Definitely. Now, for me, living in the United Kingdom, I felt I was constantly trying to climb that hill. I had, fairly reasonably successful business in the UK, got hit badly with a recession in 2008, 2009, and we got hit hard with that because we did a lot of work for the councils, and the councils had to tighten their belts. And it got to a point where I was basically paying my staff with my credit cards, accrued a hell of a lot of debt. I got to a point where the money coming in was never enough to cover the expenses. So at that point, we said we were going to have to close the doors. So we did. And we already was thinking about moving to France, but they kind of like sealed the deal for us, and we put the house on the market. I moved, and that was back in 2010. We moved here in France, and so yeah, 15 odd years we've been here, and my French is still useless. I'm okay if people talk slow to me, but otherwise, it's hard. I've had so many lessons; it just don't stick in to my head very well. And especially now I've got fibro. It might have been some of the reasons I was struggling before with it, but I find retention of information on it needs to be repeated to me again and again and again and again, and it stays there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I do when I do my videos or when I'm researching all this stuff. I write it all down. I write everything down because I'm a mechanical learner. So if I write it down, it then goes into my brain and it stays there. If I'm just told it, I'll remember it for a bit and I'll forget it. Just who I am, just who I am. And now it's getting more and more complicated to live and work in the European Union. The immigration laws are getting tighter, yes they are, including the language barriers and that as well, regarding your rights to get a carte de séjour here in France. I don't know what it's like in Portugal. Yeah, it's rough, especially with fibre brain fog. I get it. You might notice when I do my videos, sometimes I'm thinking for the word, and I just, that's when my head just goes blank. And same with the live streams and stuff like that. I suppose it's quite brave of me actually to do live streams really, because I do struggle with it sometimes, and I kind of have to think outside the box, if you know what I mean. Otherwise I look like a fucking idiot. Even bigger idiot than I do already. I am Canadian. I took French in school, but it didn't stick. I've thought about learning again. That's fair, I suppose. One of my problems here with the language is that everyone around here speaks English, and they want to speak English because they want to learn English, but it doesn't help me learning French. I'm talking about the French people, obviously. And I don't, I'm quite, how to put it, I'm quite insular. I don't go many places. Nor does their missus. We've got so much land here, and we've got the garden, and the dogs. And we're not bar-type people. We don't go out, We're quite happy here. Caroline struggles in those sort of places because of hearing aids. And when we see the thing about hearing aids is they're not really an answer to everything, because what happens is everything becomes a noise. And you've got all these people talking from different directions. It's all just a noise to Caroline. She can't differentiate where it's coming from. And even though she's got very good hearing aids, it's not able to do that, differentiate. So just end up, it just gives her a headache. So she doesn't like to go out too much. Keeping it, hello grunge thing. Joe, we're keeping safe from the trolls. Oh, those pesky trolls, yeah. I'm jealous of you, Joel, about the languages you speak. Fucking hell. I really wish I could speak. There's a few things that really upset me in many ways. It is my language, as in my language skills regarding French, because it would open me up to better relationships, if you know what I mean, with other people. But also not being able to play music anymore. I'll start learning drums, and that's good. But not being able to play the guitar or the ukuleles or the mandolin because of a carpal tunnel syndrome, you see, my hands, I just can't manage it anymore. So I tend not to do it. I'm thinking about maybe doing a little bit of, I've got a piano here, doing a little bit of piano maybe. Or even, the wind's just opened my door. I obviously didn't latch it. Or doing a bit of synth, you know, a bit of a MIDI keyboard or something. Oh, I'm partially deaf. Always had trouble with speaking any language. Just kind of a problem that their wife has. She has a problem with pronunciation because she can't hear what she's pronouncing. She's 70% down in her ears, so she's very deaf. Really, 70% is pretty deaf. Ethnics, parents that wanted me to learn. Oh, ethics. Ethics or ethnics. Parents that wanted me to learn, and luck will to learn. Yes. You see, for me, I have the will to learn. I learn a lot of shit. Okay. Obviously about what's going on in the world. I follow a lot of stuff and that with environment and rewilding and that as well. I follow and I learn. I read up a lot. But also in my woodwork. You see, you know, I do a lot of woodwork, and you never stop learning with woodwork. You see, it's such a vast subject. It's a lot to learn. Nobody knows everything. They just don't. And when I learn new stuff, I try and share it with other people. So it's quite nice. It's on my woodworking channel, Wally Bar Woodworking. Links down below, so if you're interested. And I've got my Rewilding channel as well. Links down below. Also my Earth Trifle channel as well. And it's just nice to have the variation, you know. And I really want to try and keep this channel going, this one. But I struggle with it because I just find it hard to, well, start making ends meet and thinking, how can I warrant the time if it's not earning anything? Do you know what I mean? Or very little. And when I look at my stats, it's just dying a death. It really is. You know, I've had no more than 30 people here today on this live stream. That's very low. So it's YouTube. They don't like me. All right, they're not showing my videos in my stats. That's what I can see there. And the amount of people I'm losing, I can't believe it. Now this morning I went out, and I mentioned I lost about 20. I was in the minus 29. By the time I got back in the house, and I checked it again, it was minus 120. I thought, what? What the fuck? Oh dear. I speak very poor Canadian French, and when I was in France the last time, some girls told me that I sounded like a village idiot. A peasant from their TV comedy. I hope you laughed. Oh dear. I can imagine it. Oh my God, my Japanese and Mandarin is limited to greetings and that type of thing. What about Korean? Can you do Korean? My daughter's learning Korean. I was fluent at ordering beer in Dutch, 15 years there, and that's all I needed. Yeah. Un bel s'il vous plaît. Oh, God's sake. Oh, dear. Laughing with you two, mate. Laughing with you two. No Korean right now, AllShorts, but in the future, who knows, says Joel. So this is something that you would never imagine somebody like Donald Trump. He barely speaks his own language, as in English. American English, because it's not real English, is it? But anyway, American English. He doesn't know any, that's the only language he knows. He doesn't speak any other languages. He doesn't know anything. He just knows how to hurt people. He's so retaliative. And this is like a defense mechanism. Now, if I was to speak ill of my mother-in-law, it's kind of what she does, because she's not very bright. Bless her heart, but she's a lovely person, but she's not very bright. She's stupid. And whenever she's put on the spot about anything, she goes into like this defense comes up, this shield comes up, and she goes on the attack almost immediately. It's a freaking hell, you know. And it's a trait of it's like what Trump does, isn't it? You know, he goes on the attack as a way of shutting down the. They feel they're being cornered or they're being attacked, so they go into retaliation mode. Vietnamese are so hard. I keep insulting people by mistake. Easily done. Vietnamese. Well, I mentioned earlier I might be going on a trip in Vietnam, so that'll be interesting. And we've got quite a few Vietnamese people here, actually. It might be worthwhile going and see them, actually. So, can you teach me a bit of Vietnamese if we go to Vietnam? We're going on a bike trip. I'm hoping. We're planning. It's got to be next year. Maybe next year, if not the year after. There's a lot to plan. And save up. I don't know what with, but, we'll find a way. Melania is able to speak 7 languages. Not believing a word of it, though. But apparently, you see, she has a genius visa. She got citizenship on the basis of being a genius. What are the bollocks? I did Vietnam. I don't drive there. It's crazy. I build motorbikes, so that'd be even crazier. Probably not Enfields or something. Melania is trained to be the next Grim Reaper. She's starting with the hats. What's she got to do? She's got to sharpen the rim. They take all that hair, like, aren't they? What they? Oh, Christ. That's because she's rolling her eyes constantly every time Donald Trump speaks. She doesn't want people to see it. Oh, dear. Universal pain. My partner learned English from watching Friends and two and a half men. Oh, Friends and 2.5 men, and speaks better English than Melania. What was it? Ooh, whatever she was doing. What she's doing? Oh, that's crikey. She just take the piss out of her. Someone. Ooh, oh my God! Imagine Melania and Trump's getting frisky. I don't think any of that goes on anymore. For a start, his little mushroom is more like a fucking puffball. Oh, giddy aunt. Anyway, I'm gonna yuck. Ew. Anyway, I'm gonna have to call it a night now because I'm really struggling with my voice now. Thanks for joining us. We didn't have too many people there. Oh my God, we broke 30. You've got 31 now, so I'm clocking off when people are coming. But I'll try to go live again later. I hope everyone's having a lovely time and have a nice weekend. I know it's only Thursday, but I might go live again tomorrow. We'll see. Depends if I can manage it. And see how depressed I am. It's a shitty state of the channel because it is bad. It's bad, So there is a possibility. I'll tell you, obviously, that the channel might just die a death. But I'm hoping I can keep it going. But it's like it all got. I think we're all in the same boat. We all need to earn a crust, don't we? And I was a bit too reliant on this channel, and it's just not happening anymore. It's not. Anyway, thanks everybody for coming. I'd like to. Can you say mango, please? Mango, please. I did it. I said mango, please. Do I get a sticky? Do I get some stars or something? No. No. Why not? It's not fair. Oh, blimey. Oh, how about, I don't know, how about some Jack Black. All right, there we go. My name is Steve. Something like that, anyway. Die Fantafera. Yeah, please. I'm hoping. Blimey, you give us all a break, will you? Just peg it. But unfortunately, there'll be some people that follow the very, very clever man. You can't help it.
Now, Poland is demanding an explanation from Israel as to why a foreign
camera TV.
Anyway, please put a like button, maybe subscribe to the channel, little bell icon. I need all the subscribers I can get at the moment because everyone's leaving me. Toodaloo. Have a lovely day or evening, night, whatever it is for you.